What's up? It's Vince. I'm here with the Tour Newport News 3-4 Omnium. These are going to go by really quick, so let's jump right into event number 1, the street sprints. The way it works is our seat post is being held by volunteers behind us. We're clipped in, and the registration says it's about 200 meters slightly uphill, although my GoPro only says 175. The heats are 4 to 5 riders, and for this first heat, top 2 advance. It's unlike anything I've done before, so I'm going to give you a few tips in between the sprints.
All systems are go, so that means riders, take your mark.
The guy to the left of me beat me off the line, but I'm coming with speed now. And I topped out at 1282 watts and 34 miles an hour for this first heat. Just getting warmed up, and I win this one pretty easily. The guy in second was several bike lengths behind. Tip number 1 is gearing. I saw a lot of people get knocked out in that first heat because they started in too hard of a gear. Some people started in the middle of their cassette, which is a huge mistake. Unless you're racing against me. If you're racing against me, start with big ring in the front and hardest gear in the back. But if you're not racing me, then easier gear is better. There's Adam, who finished second in that heat, by the way. I think I started that race on the 30 ZS cassette cog, which would be a 24. Then after that, I did big ring in the front, largest sprocket in the back, which is 5230 in the back for me. Where you saw people lose immediately is when they got bogged down with a low cadence at the start. They never got on top of the gear, lost the first round, and that was it. So race number 2 took a long time to get organized. I think the race organizers learned their lessons, and it will be smoother in the future. But in this second heat, only the winner advances. So luck of the draw played a big role in who you're matched up with.
Riders, take your mark. Go!
Once again, I'm beat off the line, but I'm the fastest up when I'm up to speed. I topped out at 1362 watts and 35 miles an hour for the second heat. And I take down the win, and I'm going to the finals. So tip number 2, let's talk about standing start technique. And this is my big fault. I was actually starting off seated in the saddle because I was worried about back wheel traction. I thought my back wheel would slip if I started out of the saddle. You can hear me coughing right there. I did test negative for COVID, but I really wasn't feeling that well. Anyway, back to the technique. I was actually slightly wheeling the bike during some of my practice runs. And this poor technique is why I was so slow off the line. I'm not even that heavy, about 160 pounds, but I just wasn't very good at it. So I have a quick clip here to demonstrate proper starting technique.
3, 2, 1, go. Good. Come on, up, up. Nice and strong. Good. Move the bike.
That was obviously from a track sprinter with a much bigger gear, but the technique was impressive. So there you go. You want to throw your hips at the bars off the line, and you want the bike to be perfectly vertical. No side-to-side movement until you get up to a higher speed, which means you need to be very tight through the upper body to resist the side-to-side movement. And here we go, final heat. And there were a lot of us in this one. I think 6 or 7 in the final heat. The 3-4 had the biggest heat by far. And you can hear me saying it's sketchy because I'm so close to the other guys starting off. There's not a whole lot of room in between us.
Riders, take your mark.
You can really see the effect of my slow starts here. It takes a lot longer for me to start gaining on the 2 guys on my left and right, but Andre on the left is like a bullet off the line. I topped out at 1404 watts and 34 miles per hour in the final heat, but that is nothing compared to Andre. Let's take a look at Andre's max power. 2153. 2153. That is absurd. Do you know how few people can do that? Andre is seriously in the wrong sport. Get this man on a velodrome trained to be a track sprinter, and he's going to the Olympics. I will take him versus anyone as long as they aren't a track sprinter. Any road sprinter who wants to come to this event, I'll put money on Andre. Take it to the bank. 2153. What in the
Sitting in third, Team IR4D Thomas Carey. He won the street sprints last night. Please welcome Andre Campbell, second right now. And number 1 in your overall men's category, 3-4, Vincent Morelli.
Dude, he nailed it. He crushed the pronunciation of my last name. So cool, we're sitting as the overall leader in the Omnium so far. I did pretty well in the TT, I got 5th. and there's 2 events to go. We got the Criterium right now, and then the circuit race coming up. So let's get into it. It's a pretty technical crit. They're always really fast in the first few laps, and the draft is not as important in races like this. I mean, don't neglect the draft, but bike handling and keeping your momentum through corners play bigger roles than they normally do. And these downtown crits are always a bit of a battle of attrition. It's a hot day for April. We did a TT in the morning. Guys aren't as fresh as usual, so it's harder than most races just to stay in the bunch. And this downhill U-turn section into an uphill is where I think you can really save some energy. And I'm going to show you a strategy in the next clip for how to approach this. You can see significant gaps opening on lap number 1 as people will be trying to figure out the course, and some of the people on the front are sending it. I already have to nuke it at like 900 watts just to get up this hill in position. So we got the big uphill section there. It is a watt bomb no matter where you are, but this is also where a lot of the front guys slowed up. So if you want to attack, that's kind of a good place to do it. The back half of the course here is technical as well, with another turn into a small straightaway, into another U-turn coming up right here, back into the start-finish straight. The pavement's not the greatest. It gets rough in a lot of places, and there are manhole covers scattered throughout. Let's talk teams. The major team players in this one are I Ride for David with a lot of representation. Kelly Benefits has a couple of really strong junior riders in here, and Total Construction is always a team to watch too. I'm still teamless, so no team tactics for me yet. Let's pick it up in lap number 4, and here's a good example of a strategy to conserve your momentum through the downhill U-turn. You let a small gap open in front of you and hope others behind you don't lose their nerve and fill it. Now you have the space to take the ideal line through the corner, take a few hard pedal strokes in the straight section, and come with momentum into the uphill drag. It's all about getting maximum exit speed into this uphill section. So now, rather than having to do 700, 800, 900 watts out of this corner, which was typical, I came out of the corner at 30 miles an hour, I topped out at 500 watts, and I didn't have to get out of the saddle. The effort was a lot smoother. So here's what it looks like when it doesn't go well. I try and make a pass on the left here to take some space, and I think I surprised Greg in front of me because he's kind of drifting left into me. And now I have to brake. The line is slowing. We're only going 24 miles an hour through this straight section now and into this uphill corner. And now I'm going to have to give a lot more effort to get back up to speed. You can see lots of guys sprinting ahead of me, and this is one of the reasons why it's beneficial to be closer to the front in a technical crit like this. You get much less of that accordion effect, which can be really brutal if people are braking in front of you. So we're going to pick it up on lap 8 here, and we're finally getting some action. You can see Andre on the right sprinting to close some gaps. The Kelly kid 2 wheels in front of me is playing games and letting a gap open up the road for his teammate. Nobody's been able to get away so far, which is typical in these technical crits early on. Everybody's too fresh. But luckily the guy in front of me recognizes it and starts taking up the chase immediately. A really big effort required here. It's annoying, but it's a part of racing, and this is how you get a major split in the field. A move like this where 6 or more guys get up the road. The guy in front of me ultimately does stitch it back up as we're coming up on the group right ahead of us. And I think it's all together until I look left, and it's not. Andre just kind of stops pedaling, and that group's getting away, so I'm not going to let this go. The big teams are all represented there, and Thomas Carey, second in the Omnium, is in that group, so I have to shut it down immediately. And you don't want to give too much of a leash to people on a course like this. You have to be extremely decisive. So I bring this one back, and we are going to jump ahead to lap number 12. And let's talk about Peloton etiquette. Watch this. Bro, don't be blowing snot rockets right in the middle of the Peloton. That got all over my face. That's disgusting. I mean, he didn't even move out of the way. He just signals right in the middle and then blows it. Like, seriously, swallow in the future, please. That's Tofik, by the way. Super strong junior rider. He's very good in these technical crits. And we do get a huge lull in the pace here. It slows down to 22 miles an hour. People are tired, I get it. But this is why least favorite interaction in a lot of races. It's when you get swarmed from the back. It's slow. People are filling in spaces. You can get an accident really easily in situations like this. This is a strategy I use all the time in the 3-4 races, and it works really well. You simply ask someone to attack and they'll do it. But be careful what you wish for, because we're about to way overcook this corner. Oh my god, dude. That was so scary in person. I know it doesn't look like much in camera, but his wheel buckled in the gutter and I scraped the right pedal on the side of the curb. We are off the front, but because it was so easy the past 30 seconds or so, people are chasing hard. And I look back and the gap is disappearing very quickly. So he's going to look at me. Oh god, his back wheel just slipped there too. I could take a pull here if I wanted to, but I decided to give up on it and ride his wheel until these guys catch us. Just a reminder, be careful through turn 1, please. So lap 16, we got another group off the front with Tawfiq in it. And this is dangerous late in the race. It's very easy for guys to look at each other and not want to ruin their sprint for 4 laps to go. It looks like Greg from Bike Fit is closing this one down, but it is fast and we're getting single file. This is the last chance for any non-sprinters to really go for it. And you're going to see some try. Another attack from on the outside through the start-finish straight. This is where you have to bear down and do any work that's required of you if you want to get to the field sprint. It doesn't matter if you're fresh sprinting for 10th place. Who cares, you know? You got to make it there first. So this is where the rubber meets the road, and this race is splintering apart. Everybody is single file. There's gaps everywhere. I need to move up here, so I gave a little effort on the inside of the downhill. And I'm able to take both corners pretty well and with speed so I can catch up on the uphill. Nearly 900 watts required this time to get back to the group ahead. And this is a weird scene to look at. It doesn't look like a 3-4 race. It looks like a Cat 5 race. I mean, there's gaps everywhere. Everybody is so tired. And nobody's drafting, it seems. Tawfiq is still off the front. I look behind and the race is blown apart, but nobody pushes it here. So I'm going to hop in this guy's draft. This is a perfect opportunity for a counterattack, and Total Construction takes it. He doesn't come with too much speed though, so the guy in front of me is able to hop in the wheel. And you can just tell by body language, guys are tired. Tawfiq is working super hard to pick up his pace on the left. He just went over the top of the curb. And I'm dangling off the back now, but I punch it a little to get back on. And we come into 3 laps to go. And I think everyone's done here. We all kind of collectively sit up. This is basically a non-verbal agreement. Hey, we're going to a field sprint. I do love a good field sprint, so I'm more than happy to oblige. Again? Come on, Tawfiq, man. That's twice you got me. Pick on someone else. Coming into what I think is 2 to go, and I noticed the person on the left switching the sign to a 1. Right there.
1 or 2.
And luckily the crowd screams 2, so I know it's 2 to go. Little deep here for 2 to go. I definitely want to move up. So let's see if I can do it. I'm going to take my inside move on the downhill where I moved up all the time on this course. The front guys are slowing, so I'm able to slot in about 8th wheel here. And both 2nd and 3rd on the Omnium are just in front of me. We got Andre, 1 wheel in front of me right there, and then Thomas a couple wheels up ahead in the IR4D David kit. So my position is good if I can hold here. Ooh, I don't like the way this is shaping up though. Guys are coming with speed from both sides. Andre is a big guy. He's the perfect lead out if I can follow his wheel, but I'm falling back here at a critical moment. And I don't like the look of this at all. The whole peloton is really wide. The speed is incredibly slow. We're going 21 miles an hour. Nobody wants to lead it out, and I'm stuck behind all this traffic. I loved my position through the downhill corner, and now I hate my position. So I'm going to need to make something happen late here. This is way too far back to contest the win. I think ideal position is probably 5th wheel going into the last lap, and you want to be in the first 3 going into the back technical section. Otherwise, there's not enough time to pass. So I have to give some effort here. And I do. I start to move up. I think I'm going to be able to take this corner with speed. And the guy in front of me just slows and brakes hard. So I have to kill my momentum. And it's really bad to be braking on the last lap. It is necessary sometimes. It's my fault for leaving this move so late. But you're not going to find too many people braking on the last lap who are winning. Technical crits are a game of momentum conservation.
Stop braking!
I yell at the kid again in front of me for braking. I have to touch brakes a little bit again. There's a little gap in front of me. I was going to go on the left and just nuke it and use my whole sprint because we're so strung out here. And the leaders are way up the field. I mean, my chances of winning at this point are over. But I kind of let this kid get in front of me again. And I hope to use his draft, but then he juts left. And I thought he was going to make contact. I have to take a really horrible line. And that's it. My race is totally over. There's no chance of coming back from here. You can see the winners are going through the front corner now. I mean, I'm just so far behind. So, I mean, I'll do the best I can to get the best placing I can. Andre must have had a rough time of it, too, because he's only a couple wheels ahead of me. And that's just, you know, how it goes sometimes. There's nothing you can really do about it. And I finished in 14th here from a starting field of 81. I can't just expect to dive bomb corner one in the downhill at my own pace on the last lap. So it wasn't the guy's fault in front of me. He's probably just braking because the guys in front of him were braking. So I apologize to being a dick to whoever you are. My competitiveness gets the best of me sometimes. Right into the last event, the circuit race. And after the crit, I'm sitting second in the overall Omnium. Thomas Carey from IR4D is sitting first now. He won that Criterium. Andre, I think, is third overall. So I need to beat Thomas in order to win the Omnium, and I may have to beat him by a number of places. So this is a race on a military base, Fort Eustis. It's a closed course, no yellow line rule, which I very much like. There'll be space to position. Only 5 laps, and the laps are quite long. It's kind of in between a Criterium and a road race, and I don't mind this format at all. Obviously, on Sunday, people are going to be tired after 2 days of racing. So it's a very slow start here, and nobody wants to do anything. And I actually find myself on the front early just to set some tempo. And I'll always roll the turn to keep the pace steady. I'd very much like to get this to a sprint with as little shenanigans as possible. This guy on the left kind of sends a little false attack. He was motivated all race to get away, but this is a hard one to get away on. I don't know why. Just no one got very far. It's very typical in 3-4 races to see this, actually. I find that in 1-2-3s, due to the team tactics, people give more leashes, right? They let people get further up the road. But in a 3-4, nothing ever gets away. I mean, things get chased down so quickly. Maybe it's just more individuals. Everybody wants to place well. Everybody wants their upgrade points. I don't know. Lap 2, some sketchiness on the left as someone makes contact with that rider sit right there. Oof. And this is coming into the back straight. I'm looking to see which side of the road will have the faster line, because this is where the race will be won or lost on the last lap. You need to be able to get near the front here. And it's really slow and blocked up now because there's a strong headwind in this section. I don't like racing these tight quarters like this because there's no way to maneuver if someone goes down in front of you. So I want somebody to attack and string it out. Ironically, it's much safer racing when it's actually strung out rather than bunched up like this. Now you can hear me say that we're noodling. It's very easy in the bunch. My heart rate is very low here. It feels like an endurance ride. I want this guy to go to the left there. He doesn't really take it, but I believe the wind is also coming slightly right to left in this orientation. So my inclination is that the left side will be faster, and I'm very interested in seeing if that happens here. So you can even hear the wind. It's pretty bad in this section. We're only doing 21 miles an hour, but no one is really interested in doing anything. And so I punch it a little bit here. Moving up on the left. Not too much effort. I'm not even pedaling hard anymore, and I'm still moving up so easily. So I don't understand why everybody's to the right side of the road, leaving the protected left side open. But I move up a ton of spots there for almost no effort. We get some attacks at the front here, finally. And 2 guys go off. Not a big deal. I don't know who they are. I'm happy to let that go. I don't think they're going to last the rest of the race. So I think we gradually pull them back. But nothing really comes of it. There's a few more accelerations here, and I slot right in behind Thomas Carey here, who is the overall Omnium leader. Pick it up in lap number 3. And the line is slowing to the right of me. I call this a feeler attack. I kind of want to see how the peloton responds and see how my legs feel. So let's send it. And importantly, I'm sending it into the technical section here. There's not much technicality to the course, but if you are going to get away, it's more likely through the technical sections. People don't get as much of a draft, and you get the natural splitting of the peloton through the corners. One guy did come with me, and he's right on my wheel. Another sprinter, Steven. He and I duked it out at Salisbury circuit race last year as Cat 4s, and he beat me twice in literally the exact same way. I came second to him in the 4.5 and in the 3.4 races. He's a heck of a sprinter. I think he hit over 1,800 watts on that day. He's a big dude with a monster sprint on him, but we're not going anywhere here. And you can hear him say no point. They were all over us, so here's more guys coming up on the left, and that's the end of that attack. We bring it to last lap, and this has been an extremely easy race so far. Breakaways have been getting nowhere, so you're going to hear me have a little combo with Andre to the left of me.
Hey, we got to make a move on that back straight, Andre. You know what I mean? Got to get in front of the crowd.
Want to hide in the draft for as long as possible, but we need to move up on that back stretch. So let's bring it to the crux of the race. Still on Andre's wheel here, and we're about to hit the back headwind. I'm pretty deep. You can hear somebody calling for their lead out or whatever, but I lose Andre's wheel here. One of his teammates rightfully hops on his wheel. It's getting tight, and once again, the race bunches up and gets blocked up, and there's very little space up the road, and if there is, it's getting filled quickly. I'm towards the left. I'm going with it. I'm going to trust this is the faster side. I have a little backup plan if I can't move up. Some guy is fading through the peloton right here. Okay. And Andre is now out of sight. And I wish I had a lead out guy for some of these moments. This is a big weakness of mine. I find myself out of position in a lot of these last laps, and I don't really have the nerve to squeeze into some of these tight spaces. So now you're going to hear the panic.
Hey, left, go!
Really want to move up on the left here. There's a little bit of space, but I don't take it. This guy doesn't really take it either. Now the peloton moves left. But it opens up here, and this was kind of my backup plan. There's a little ledge, and I take it. I don't want to accelerate super hard. I'm only doing 400 watts, 500. I need to make it to the front, though, before I'm in the grass or whatever, and I kind of smoothly come right back on. I didn't endanger anybody, and now I'm at the front of the race. This is kind of expected. Now I'm way too far up, and I got there with very little effort. 27 miles an hour. My heart rate's under control at 165, and I'm very happy to be here. I don't want to lead it out, so I kind of come off the power a bit. And I think I say I don't want to lead it out. I don't think the guy in orange is a sprinter, and he's drifting to the right. Travis to the left of me grunts to let me know he's there. And we don't make contact, but I do hop on his wheel. There's always a bit of sketchiness if you want to position yourself for the sprint. And now I'm in perfect position. I can't ask for anything more here. Fourth wheel, the guy in orange is keeping it fast. I know Travis in front of me is leading out Thomas Carey, so he'll keep it fast if it ever slows up. Also, Andre is 2 wheels in front of me. That's a nice draft to be behind in the sprint. And the peloton is going to have a huge accordion effect going through these next few turns. So anyone deeper than, say, 8th wheel just doesn't have a shot to win. Thomas Carey, the Omnium leader, comes up on my left here. I will gladly let him in the train here. It's a long sprint. It's over 400 meters from the corner, and this is setting up perfectly for me. We got the guy from Grit. This is Adam on my right. He's trying to steal Thomas's wheel. It's very important that I punch it here and get on Thomas's wheel, and I do. I win the wheel, and the sprinter opens up way too early. We're going from 350 maybe. Over 1,000 watts sustained. 41 miles an hour, 42 now. I move left to come out of the draft, and I have the momentum in the slipstream. And those guys duked it out for second and third. I did not know what to do here. I beat them by several bike lengths. I don't know how to celebrate. I still don't know how to celebrate. So I didn't do anything. I feel so ashamed. I didn't even put my hands up or anything. I was just like, I don't know. It's just like any other lap.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
I'll work on my celebration. So I finished second in the Omnium. Thomas Carey took the win. And they changed the scoring on me on this last day. If they went with the original scoring, the street sprints were weighted double, I would have won. But I understand why they changed it, and incredibly well-deserved by Thomas. Congrats, buddy. Also, I'm super happy to say this was my last day racing solo. I joined up with IR4D after this. It's a great group of guys and a wonderful cause. David Carey, who was an avid cyclist and Thomas's younger brother, ultimately passed away at age 13 from childhood leukemia. Thomas started the team. He lives in Colorado now, actually. But I'm going to leave a link in the description to the team website. You can find out more about David. And, of course, you can donate to the foundation if you so wish. Peace out.
Nice.
Not too fast. Hey, David. 2 thumbs up? Don't have enough thumbs?